Welcome back. Another beautiful Sunday with Matt and Safi.
Let's go.
Welcome to Sports Scholars. Alright guys, you know the drill by now. Week 3.
It's football time. Let's
We
go.
did our hunch picks. Now it's time for some last second props advice. Running a little late today.
Time to put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, that's okay though, guys, because it's been a bit of a weekend. We're still gonna get some picks out. We're pretty excited for this week,
Absolutely.
and we hope you are too. So let's kick right into it, guys. We're gonna go do some props for the games that are starting at 1 o'clock. Some of these are probably gonna help you out a little bit more, probably if you're tuning in later for your 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. games.
Yeah.
Definitely Monday nighters, but. Let's see if we can get going for our picks, see if we can get some stuff right, and tack some more green on the board,
Absolutely.
whether it be some winning tickets, $1,500 for Danes last week,
Yeah.
or a good $200 for me, or
And
let's see if we can get
I'd like to
something
give a
different.
little shout out to Saf. Saf came one pick close to winning his ticket this past Thursday night. What a weird game in a crazy windstorm, and he took my advice on field goals in a windy game, and it cost him a ticket. And
it's okay.
But he came so close, guys, and you know what? We're always coming 1 or 2 props short on a 5 prop ticket. Like, we know what we're talking about.
I've seen it like maybe 6 tickets so far where we've come in so close to one prop away.
Yeah.
You guys are mixing and matching. You're probably
almost
hitting
3
those.
for 4. Safi did all the numbers this week on pie charts for our results from our hunch picks and prop picks from last week.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't as strong as we were week 1, but we still both finished over 50%.
I think we were higher than our week 1 for the props.
Oh, were we?
Yeah.
So we did better
at
in props.
From 54% with more picks from both of us. And we were even better, so that's really good, guys.
Yeah.
You get over 50%. That's pretty
It hits.
crazy.
That's huge.
And I think for hunch picks, we weren't as strong, but we were still around 64% for hunch picks, and each.
Yeah.
Like, we're pretty close. Like, we're pretty identical with how we do our picks here. So.
And it can only go up from here, guys.
Yeah.
Like, we're always improving. We're not going to be perfect, but
Yeah,
we're doing pretty well.
I mean, if we were hitting 80 to 90%, guys,
We'd be in Vegas. We'd be in Vegas.
Yeah,
right?
I think
Vegas bookies.
I think the Bellagio would be reaching out to
That's
us
right.
for some advice, because that's just not the way the sports world works. It's not the way gambling works. They got to make their money, but
right.
anytime you can get over 50%, guys, you're probably in the green.
Yeah.
Because you only really need to win 1 ticket
That's
to make not only all your money back, but
Yeah.
to make a decent profit.
Would we quickly like to point out the weird thing that happened to us on Thursday night with the props? The weird conspiracy that we uncovered on the Thursday night game. So Nick Chubb, for example, was set at 85 yards for the whole day, and then in a spurt of like 10 minutes, they took down the props, they took down the numbers, and then they brought them back, and he was down by like 25 yards. He was at like 65 or 60 yards, and I'm like, wait, what? And all the reception guys, like Cooper was down by 10 or 15 yards, down by a couple receptions, and just everybody's numbers were just like so falling off for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was really weird.
It was really weird. And then
Chubb went down to 66 yards on rushing yards, and he
Yeah.
went back up to 83. He ended up hitting on both of them.
Yeah.
But
we smashed those when that time came, but then they took those numbers away, and then 10 minutes later, the original numbers came back, the higher rushing yards and stuff like that. So I just thought that was really weird, eh?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that if you're looking at kind of these props bets a little closer, you're going to be able to find some loopholes and some times where you're going to be able to get a little bit more yardage.
Yeah. If anybody has any late second fantasy questions, like lineup advice or prop bets, you can put them in the comments, and we'll probably answer them for you. And I'm so excited to go, man. Like week 3, let's get her going with the prop bets. Let's win some money today, man.
So what are we thinking? Let's kick it off here with the first game of the day. This one's it's going to be a little bit of a weird game, but still a fun one to watch altogether. I'm looking at Baltimore, New England.
Okay.
Obviously, I want my Patriots to win, guys. We're having a really weird season. We need to kind of figure out what we're doing here. But what do you think that's going on for this one?
Bill Belichick, he's notorious for always having a game plan to shut down your best player on the other team. Now, I don't think their defense is as strong as it's been in years past for him to be able to do that, per se, completely. And against the Ravens, I mean, Lamar Jackson proved me wrong last week. He embarrassed me with my picks. Like, he looked so good. And I can't see the Patriots winning this game, so I took Baltimore money line in this one. I like Lamar. I'm a Lamar Jackson believer now.
Yeah.
And his passing total is 216.5. I don't think that's a lot for him against a Patriots defense that's good, but they're not stout as years past. So I'm taking Lamar Jackson over 216.5.
Yeah. And just to kind of help you guys out, if you're looking to kind of make these bets on where and how we're doing it, I know we were kind of looking to try and help you guys out for that. You got to go to Bet365 for where if you want to match our exact type of picks. And what you want to click on is you want to click on the individual game that you're looking at. So you just click on, let's say, Baltimore Ravens. You click on that game.
So you need to create an account, obviously.
And then you would go to same game parlay. Now, you won't be able to do, if you went to player props, you're not going to be able to parlay it. And it's not going to allow you if you try to click two separate things. Now, you have to go to same game parlay, and then you can add it to your bet slip. You can same game parlay different games together with like different bets. So you can do like Lamar Jackson over passing yards in one game with his touchdowns, and then add it to a bet slip and do it with like a Carson Wentz yards and touchdown, and then make that one same game two same game parlays combined in one bet slip. But you have to use same game parlay.
We discovered this last year for basketball season. We were
old school. We were going to the convenience stores and we were writing down our, getting our bet slips and our props, and then we're circling it. That was fun. I enjoyed it. Gets you out of the house.
Get the adrenaline going. Getting in those picks last second before the game started.
Yeah.
The gas station, they're like, there's a lineup. You're like, come on, I got to pay for my ticket. Let's go.
I know. I kind of miss that. But now we got to do it electronically.
Yeah. This is simpler. It's more relaxing.
Yeah. You can do it from the comfort of your own home.
But yeah, Safi, thanks for pointing that out, because we've received questions from people. Shout out Pedro Sosa Diaz, who asked this question.
Yeah.
He asked if we weren't showing how to make these picks, and for people that don't know how to work the accounts, that's a pretty good step-by-step. It's not that difficult. You just have to create an account, go to same game parlays, pick a game you want to bet on, go to same game parlays, and then you can bet on multiple things at once, or you can just bet on the game props. It's up to you.
Absolutely.
You can still bet on spreads and totals and stuff. We're more focused on the player props themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than games and spreads, because most of the betting guys on TikTok and stuff like that, they only do spreads and totals. We're trying to veer away from that, do something more exciting, a little more different, right?
Yeah, of course. We're trying to do things that are a little bit more kind of engaging and not doing kind of cookie cutter stuff. We're doing stuff that's a little bit kind of harder to look at, but it's a little bit more rewarding when you win.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's great, Sal. Thank you.
No worries.
So to finish my picks, I have Baltimore Ravens money line, Lamar Jackson over 216.5 passing yards. I'm going back to the well on Mark Andrews. I think the Patriots are going to try and shut him down, but they can't shut down both him and Bateman, who's breaking out right now, and J.K. Dobbins is coming back this week, so that's huge for them.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Andrews over 4.5 receptions and 57.5 receiving yards. I'm going with a rushing milestone of Damian Harris over 25. I don't trust his number at 50 for his rushing total. They do weird stuff with him or Ramondre, and I like Mac Jones over 1.5 passing touchdowns in this one. I know there's no Jacoby Myers, but I think Jones is going to get 2 touchdowns in this one. Those are my picks for this one.
Great picks. I'm also going with the Mark Andrews. I'll take the receptions and receiving yards. I like Nelson Aguilar this game for both receptions
with
and
no
receiving
Myers,
yards.
Aguilar is a good pick. Yep.
Baltimore money line. Hate to bet against the Patriots, but I think that's just the way she's going to go this game.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson passing yards as well, and the Damian Harris rushing miles. I think this one we were we're pretty similar on what we're thinking. Next one we're going to go with the Bengals Jets. What do we got for the Bengals Jets?
Bengals Jets. I think Cincinnati, they have to win this game.
Yeah.
I can't see them starting 0-3. If they start 0-3, there's going to be a lot of panic alarms if they lose to the Jets and they go 0-3.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Cincinnati money line. It's at a pretty juicy plus 250 right now.
Really?
It is, yeah, because people think that the Jets might win this game.
Plus 250.
If you bet on a same game parlay, not if you bet on just the game itself.
Okay.
If you parlay it though, you can get them at plus 250. I'm going back to the well on Michael Carter. I hit on him last week on his receptions and receiving yards. It's set at the same, even though he's gone over twice in back-to-back weeks.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, man.
So I'm going Michael Carter over 19.5 receiving yards and 2.5 receptions. I'm going with the Stars. I'm going with Jamar Chase over 77.5 receiving yards. I'm going with Garrett Wilson over 48.5 receiving yards. The guy's been a monster first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
After this, I'm going to be doing a wait-and-see approach because Zach Wilson's apparently coming back next week, and he's starting despite Flacco. I don't understand that, but
bad choice.
Yeah, and I'm taking Joe Flacco over his pass attempts, guys. 35.5. He either leads the league or he's second in pass attempts so far this season. First game, he threw a crazy 45 attempts. In second game, it was 42 or something. I think it was more than that in game one. I'd have to check. But I'm going with his 36 passing attempts. So he doesn't need to complete 36. He just has to attempt 36 passes in a game script that I think it's going to be a lot of throwing for them. And Flacco, he wants to make one lasting impression, right?
Yeah.
So
I think you're not wrong there. I'm going to go with the passing yards on Flacco instead of the attempts.
Not a bad pick.
Just because if they end up running the ball with Breece Hall, Michael Carter, if they are up for whatever reason, I don't want them to be running the clock out. And I predict there might be some turnovers this game. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm also going to go with Joe Burrow passing over 266.5, and I'm going to couple that with doubling up on Jamar Chase yardage and receptions. And
what's his receptions?
Receptions are 5.5, and his yards is at 77.5. His Flacco's is at 232.5 passing yards. Joe Burrow at 266.5 passing yards. And then Garrett Wilson over the 48.5 receiving yards.
Right on. I like those picks a lot, guys. I was looking at those as well.
Yeah, not too bad. Now, what do we got for the Buffalo Miami?
This one's a big one.
This one's a crazy one.
What's the game total at right now for them?
Game total for the...
Is it 42? I think I saw 42.
54.5.
Oh.
Yeah.
So obviously they are expecting a huge scoring game.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a trap game, but it's still a divisional game. Last year, Miami played Buffalo tight. They gave Josh Allen one of his worst games.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be 54 points, but I also don't think it's going to be a tight game but Buffalo is starting 5 rookies on defense in the secondary.
Yeah, I think
so.
What do you think's going to happen?
I'm taking the over on points at milestone of 36.5, which I don't think is a bad number. It's high, but it's not low. That's 20-17. I think that's could happen. I'm taking Mike Gesicki under 27.5 receiving yards. It's my first under of the day. I'm taking him because he's going to be matched up against the best cover tight end linebacker, Matt Milano. And Gesicki isn't really utilized much in this offense. I know that he had a decent game last game, but he's more of a run blocker. So
basically just kind of throw the Waddle and Hill.
That's right. So I'm taking Jalen Waddle over 62.5 receiving yards. Tyreek Hill, I thought that he blew up again last week. You'd think that his reception total will be higher now. It's still the same at 6.5. I think that's a smash.
Yep.
I'm taking him at 6.5. Diggs is at 82 receiving yards now. Last game when he blew up for 3 touchdowns, he was at 72.
Yeah.
I don't trust the receiving yards per se, but I trust the receptions at 6.5. I think he could easily get 7, even though Gabriel Davis is back this game. I could see Josh Allen throwing it a lot this game. Miami's secondary got torched by Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen is better than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to the well on Josh Allen over 281.5 passing yards. And I'm going over Josh Allen back to the well again over 1.5 passing touchdowns. And those are my picks for that.
That's not bad at all, man. Honestly, I can see that ticket easily hitting.
Not easily, but coming close.
Coming pretty close to hitting. And honestly, those are pretty smart parlays. I went a little bit riskier on this one because I think it's going to be a fun game, guys. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game with all the rookies going on. Buffalo's defense. I'm doubling up on Waddle, 5.5 receptions, 63.5 receiving yards. Doubling up on Stephon Diggs, we'll go 6.5 receptions, 83.5 receiving yards.
Nice.
Over on the Allen at 281.5. Over on the Tua at 262.5. And over on the Tua completions.
Nice. I like that.
So that's
going to be tough against that Buffalo defense, but they're
running so many rookies.
Yep,
no Micah Hyde, man. Yep. That's a big leader that's gone for their team. But let's move on over. We're going to go to the Detroit Vikings game.
This game, like we said on our last episode, this is one of the few games I'm very excited to watch today. 2 young teams that are very talented. How about you go first with your picks this time?
I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson, double him up. I think this Kirk Cousins is extremely high. I think he's sitting at like 280-something for passing yards and 3 touchdowns. So
rebound game.
I think Justin Jefferson goes over 100 yards this game. I think he easily gets that. His receptions might end at 7, but I'm going to take the over on the 7.5. I think Dalvin Cook finally gets his first pretty close to 100 yards rushing game. So I'm over on the 78.5 on the rushing yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got to go back to him. I'm just going to stick with the receptions. I'm not going to double up with the yards on this one. And then I'm going to go with the DeAndre Swift rushing and receiving over 79.5.
Yeah, you got to go with your stars, right? Star power.
That's all star power for me. What are you thinking?
Same thing, same mindset. Justin Jefferson, yardage over 100. I'm going with Amon-Ra St. Brown over 74.5 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Guy's a beast. Swift, rushing and receiving, 77.5.
Yep.
I'm going over Dalvin Cook, 99.5 rushing and receiving yards in this one. I just have this feeling that they're going to be throwing him the ball more.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, I'm betting on the rebound over 284.5 passing yards. And this one's, the extra touchdown is risky, but I'm taking Cousins over 2.5 passing touchdowns.
Jesus, that's crazy.
I'm looking at the game total for that one, and I think this is going to be another game where it's like it's not going to be as high scoring as they think it's going to be, but it's still going to be high scoring.
It's going to be high scoring, yeah. I think that's. Great.
I love our tickets so far, man.
Like, I know. I'm feeling that.
Sometimes you do a ticket and you're like, this one's like sketchy, but like I like the picks that we've made.
Yeah, it's one of those days today. I feel like where it's like you lose, but we're gonna be watching some football, so
it's gonna be a lot of
fun. This one's not gonna be fun though. Talking about fun, this is the anti-fun game. It's Houston versus the Bears. How exciting! You got Justin Fields, whose props are set so low, and you're like, if you were to look at any other player in the NFL, and you would say, hey, we're gonna set your passing props to 170 yards, you'd be like, oh yeah, we're gonna smash that.
And you look 16 completions.
And then you look at Justin Fields, and you're like, yeah, I'm okay.
That's embarrassing.
I don't want to take Justin Fields at 107 passing yards. I don't want to go anywhere near Justin Fields passing. I don't even know if he will pass over 10 completions this game, as embarrassing as that sounds. So we got to go with rushing. Now, fool me once, fool me twice, fool me a third time. Darnell Mooney.
Yep.
Please. Darnell Mooney.
You're going back to the well.
Darnell Mooney.
You're going back to the well.
Darnell Mooney playing the NFL anymore. Is Darnell Mooney on the field? Where's Darnell Mooney?
Is anybody on the Bears playing in the NFL anymore? Nobody's catching anything.
Are they going to set the record for the lowest amount of pass yards in a single season?
Oh my God.
What's going to go on here with the Bears? Are they an NFL team? Are they just sitting there running the ball, playing some weird type of football? Darnell Mooney doubling up. 43.5 receiving yards, 3.5 receptions. Brandon Cooks, doubling up. 4.5 receptions over, 57.5 receiving yards. And then both running backs, 60.5 for Dameon Pierce. I think he's going to average around 13, 14 carries. And then we got David Montgomery, 69.5 rushing yards. I think he's going to average closer to 16, 17 carries.
Yep.
What about you?
I took both running backs, and I'm not so bold on Darnell Mooney. I need to see somebody catch the ball on that team. But I'm going with Cooks on receiving and receptions. I think those are safe. Those are as safest picks as you can take, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Chiefs, Indianapolis. I remember I made the bold prediction, like a hunch pick, that I thought the Colts were going to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, that was bold, my friend.
Shaquille Leonard's not playing this game, so that might not happen. I thought that he was going to be active, and I thought that I'd do like a bit of a boost, and with Pittman coming back and all that, still be cool if it did happen. If there was an upset of this week, that would be the upset I'd be looking at. But it definitely doesn't help me that Leonard's not back yet.
Safi's segment of Safi's upsets of the week.
Yeah. And what are we thinking here for this one?
So I waited to do a ticket on this one because I wanted Safi's opinion. Because I value his opinion very much when it comes to sports betting. He's very good at what he does. I asked him about Travis Kelce. If anybody's watched our past episodes, they saw that I got screwed with making a Dainsy smash pick on Travis Kelce over 6.5 completions last week. And I think he fell too short, and it really ticked me off. And, I'm like, screw you, Travis Kelce. Never going back to you, old man. But he's so good, man.
He's so
and,
good.
He's back at 6.5 receptions. You kind of have to go back to the well. You have to.
Yeah, I'm back to the well with Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
You got the Colts over there, and they're going to put up a good game. And the Colts just kind of lost to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a closer game than I think we anticipate. So I would double up on Travis Kelce.
I am doing the same.
I would also double up on Michael Pittman Jr.
I'm doing the same.
And I would also go over back to well on Jonathan Taylor. I don't see him going 2 games in a row.
At 88 yards against the Chiefs is risky. I don't know if it's going to hit or not. It could go either way.
I lost with Taylor last week, and they rushed him like 7 times.
Yeah.
So, he's going to have fresh legs.
Yeah.
If Colts are going to win this game, they got to give Taylor more than 7 carries.
They got to ground and pound.
It's just the only way they're going to win.
You got to keep Mahomes off the field, and that's the only way
way you can do it. So I think Taylor's going over. I think Pittman's used to move the ball, and I think Taylor's going over, and I think they're just struggling to cover Kelce. That's the game plan that I
think those are great picks. We said we were doubling up on Pittman. For those who want to know the numbers, Pittman is at 5.5 receptions right now, and 66.5 receiving yards. So we are both hitting the overs on those. Yeah. He's like the only weapon that Matt Ryan trusts on that team.
Yeah.
And I'm betting on the rebound game for Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm taking him over 4.5 receptions and 49.5 receiving yards.
Oh, wow. So you're going to Juju as well.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad for the Juju. Let's move on to the next one. This one's going to be interesting game. The game of the two underachievers. We got the Raiders and the Titans. What are we doing here? Because the Titans, I am not happy with the Titans. The only person I'm taking on the Titans is Derrick Henry, which has dropped to a whopping 76.5 rushing yards.
Gone are the days of the 100-yard prop.
Gone are the days of the 114-yard props.
Oh, man. Right. Yeah, that's true.
Henry used to be 114 yards for a prop.
And is it bad to say that at 77 I'm still scared?
Yeah.
Because
Henry.
They just lost their best offensive lineman for the year.
Taylor Lewan's gone for the year, guys.
A.J. Brown is gone. Treylon Burks is like hobbling around out there. Tannehill looked brutal last week.
Tannehill might get benched this game.
And Vegas, they're due for a rebound game. I'm betting on a rebound game for Devontae Adams. For both receptions, 6.5, and receiving yards, 83.5. Titans don't have anybody who can cover Devontae Adams.
I will join you in that quest.
I believe that Renfrew is out with a concussion. Whether he plays or not, he might be limited.
Yep.
I like Derek Carr over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
I have that as well.
I have the Raiders money line, and this one's a little risky, but I have Treylon Burks over 3.5 receptions.
Not bad at all. I didn't put the trail on Burks, but I did add Derek Carr. I just think Tannehill was so gregariously bad last week that I don't know if I ever want to go near the Titans' offense again.
He's at 200 now, which is brutal.
So then we got the Saints and the Panthers. What do you think of the Saints and the Panthers?
So right now there is a $10 free bet credit on Bet365. I'm sure if you go to FanDuel or anything like that, they probably have other promotions there. Just keep an eye out, guys, because promotions, they're always trying to promote stuff for the NFL and stuff.
Yeah.
So this one, I didn't really care too much about this game. I said it in our last episode. Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, they're both boring quarterbacks. They're horrible quarterbacks. So I used my $10 free credit on this one. And I bet on Baker Mayfield to suck. I took him over 0.5 interceptions because he's Baker Mayfield and he sucks. Did I say Baker Mayfield sucks? Okay, perfect. Chris Olave, he's an interesting name because over the last 2 weeks, he's been targeted like a whopping 7 targets last week.
Yeah.
Winston seems to gravitate towards him. I know that Mike Thomas is there and Kamara is back this week, but I like Olave at 3.5 receptions. I don't think that's a lot for him.
No, it's not. It's not a ton. I ended up. Thanks for the comment there.
Thanks, Handsome Fatty,
a.k.a.
Sabri, the legend. I love him.
And what I like here is I'm staying away from the receivers on New Orleans. I think you made some decent picks there, and I do think Baker Mayfield's probably going to throw a pick against that New Orleans stout defense with Tyrann Mathieu. Mm-hmm. I took Baker Mayfield under 205.5.
Why? Because he sucks?
Yeah, just and mostly because take this one and kind of chew on it if you're wondering if it's just an emotional pick. New Orleans defense kept Brady under 200 yards. Mm-hmm. So if Brady is under 200 yards, you got Tyrann Mathieu, you got Lattimore. I am certainly taking Baker Mayfield under 200 yards.
Nice.
That being said, they got to get their yards somewhere. Christian McCaffrey over 59.5 rushing yards.
I took him over 103 rushing and receiving yards, so we're kind of thinking alike in regards to McCaffrey having a good game.
Alvin Kamara, first game back. I think his props are set a little low. I'm going to take the over on the 2.5 receptions in the match. I'm also going to take the over on the 22.5 receiving in the match.
I'm taking the receptions. That's a good call.
And that's what I got for that game there, guys.
That's awesome, man. Love it.
And then we're going to move on to the Commanders and Eagles.
Right on. This one, I like the Eagles money line. I like A.J. Brown back to the well over 5.5 receptions. I like Miles Sanders over 63.5 rushing yards. He seems to be the vocal point of that rushing attack. It's him and Jalen Hurts. I think Sanders hits that number. This is a revenge game for Carson Wentz, but I still think he struggles against his old team. They have a good defense back there. I'm taking him over 0.5 interceptions in this game.
Very nice.
And this is my risk pick, guys. If you want to parlay those 3 together or those 4 with the money line, and then whatever Safi picks, I would probably lean towards that. But my risky pick, Curtis Samuel over 45.5 receiving yards in the game. I know they have Jahan Dotson, and they have Logan Thomas, and they have Gibson in the backfield, McKissick. They have Scary Terry, a.k.a. Sarah McLachlan.
Terry McLachlan.
But I think that Samuel has been the most targeted receiver on that team the last 2 weeks. I think that Wentz trusts him. He goes back to the well, and that's my risky pick, guys. But if you guys want more confident picks, go with my first couple ones, keep the Samuel out, and whatever Safi picks, I would go with that.
Yeah, I like Jalen Hurts over 19.5 completions in this one, guys.
Nice.
I think that's set a little bit low. And I also like the A.J. Brown kind of a rebound game so his receptions over 5.5. I think Carson Wentz can go over his completions as well. I believe it's set at 21.5. Yep, it's set 22.5, sorry. So I think he might just get the completions on this one. Might be forced to do a little bit more checkdowns than he would like. So I'm liking the completions on the quarterbacks. And I think this one's a little bit riskier. A.J. Brown over 74.5 on the yardage. Now that one is a bit risky, but I think we can kind of get away with it. I would definitely have a little bit of fun with this one here, and probably parlay it with a different game that you don't have a ton of picks on.
That's great.
Yeah.
The Jaguars and Chargers game, there's only props for the Jaguars players because Herbert just got that injection before the game, and he's a game time decision. Same as Keenan Allen. So they don't have any props for the Chargers. Are you just betting straight Jaguars on that one, or are you staying away from that game?
Which one here?
So the Chargers-Jaguars, I just checked again. It's updated, and there's still no Chargers props because Herbert's a game-time decision, right? Now, that game is at 4:05, so you could wait to do your...
I would wait on that one there, guys. Just really quick hitters on that one. I would look at...
I like ATN over 2.5 receptions.
Yeah, you can do something like that. Yeah, and really, guys, that one I'm just going to kind of stay away from until we know more about Justin Herbert. That game is going to be completely dependent on Justin Herbert. Yeah. You guys can't really bet on something when you don't know something like the star quarterback playing because you don't know the game flow. If Herbert doesn't play... they're going to run the ball out, right? If Herbert's playing, they're going to pass the ball, and Jacksonville's going to have to throw the ball. So you really got to... If it was just a running back or if it was a tight end, I would say, let's make a ticket together on this one. I'm not going to advise making a ticket on a game where Justin Herbert's game time decision. Mm-hmm. If Justin Herbert does play, probably sneak in a couple of the overs on some of the... Austin Eckler probably receiving plus rushing. You might get Justin Herbert at a good number. You might get Mike Williams at a good number. If Herbert doesn't play, you might get some really good numbers on James Robertson for rushing and Etienne for receiving. So the checkdowns to Etienne.
Yeah, that's a great call, my friend. I love it.
All right, Atlanta Falcons and the Seahawks. What are we doing here?
This will be my last time. If it doesn't hit this week, I'm not betting on him anymore.
That hits.
I hate Arthur Smith, and your comments are like... Anyways, I'm taking Kyle Pitts over 4.5 receptions. If he does not get that this game, that's 3 weeks in a row that they haven't been utilizing him. Do you think after 3 weeks, if he doesn't hit over 4 receptions, then he's screwed for the season?
Not for the season, but I think if they don't use him after 3 weeks, then Arthur Smith's in an incredible hot seat, especially if they go 0-3, guys.
Yeah.
Especially this game against the Seahawks, where it's basically a battle of the backup quarterbacks, man.
Not a great defense in Seattle. No Jamal Adams. You have to exploit that.
Those teams are both in the same position, too. Yeah. They're both rebuilding, so it's like, who's got the better coaching? Yeah. Who can utilize their stars better? So... it will be very embarrassing if Kyle Pitts comes out with less than 50 yards this game. It's getting a bit of a joke now.
Yeah,
I've read 3 weeks in a row from article after article about how they're saying Kyle Pitts is breakout. Kyle Pitts is going to break out. Kyle Pitts is going to break out. It's just not happening. Now, we haven't been saying he's going to break out. We've just been asking for literally 50 yards.
Yeah,
and he's not even getting that.
Yeah,
so. That's a little crazy to me. I'm going to look at this one here.
So while he's doing that, I'm taking Pitts over 4.5 receptions. This next pick, when coaches come out and they make comments that this player needs to get more involved, we need to get this player more of the ball, we need to change our scheme a bit, and I usually gravitate towards that when it comes to picks. So Pete Carroll, Old Man Pete comes out and he says, we need to have more downfield, threats, more downfield action. Yeah. Well, who's your biggest downfield threat? Who's getting the most downfield action? DK Metcalf, right?
Yes.
So I'm going back to the well on DK, over 4.5 receptions, over 56.5 receiving yards against the bad Atlanta secondary. I think he should hit that. My last pick, I'm another firm believer in the philosophy that if I see a starting running back with no competition of the same talent level in his backfield, unless his name is Devin Singletary, who I hate with a passion, who I will never bet on because he screwed me so many times last year. I am taking Cordarrelle Patterson at a measly 43.5 rushing yards. It's under 50. He's the number one running back on the team. You have to. I'm going to the well on
I would double up on Pitts again, because why not? I like your DK Metcalf. I'll go to receptions on that. I got a spicy one for you guys. I think you can get a discount, 22.5 rushing yards for Kenneth Walker III. That is, I know Rashad Penny's there. I know Rashad Penny's going to get the majority of the rushes. But he's a very talented back. And if they give him just 5 rushes, might hit that. 6 rushes, he might hit that. He's his second week back. He's a little healthier. He's learning the game plan a little bit more. I like that against the Falcons. I think that they might showcase Kenneth Walker this week over 22.5 rushing yards. So that's a nice spicy one for you guys. Let's go to Green Bay Packers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right on. So Brady's going to have a hard time throwing it in the air without Mike Evans and Godwin. I don't know. I don't think he's playing this game.
Yeah.
So that means he's got Russell Gage, Cole Beasley. Julio Jones is a game time decision again. I think Brady's going to struggle in the air. So I think they're going to try and ground and pound this as much as they can. Green Bay defense has been getting absolutely gashed by running backs the first couple weeks. So I think Fournette over 69.5, barring injury, if he can stay healthy, I'm taking Fournette over 69.5 rushing yards.
Really?
For receiving, I might lean towards taking Fournette under 25.5 receiving yards. He's not the receiving back on that team. They have Rashad White. They have a couple other guys on that team. Brady's not a huge check down guy. He might have to this game, but Fournette is only averaging like 12 yards the first 2 games in receptions.
Yep.
So I like him. For quarterback props, I like Aaron Rodgers over 22.5 passing completions. His yards at 230 is good too, but I'm going with the completions. I think Green Bay running backs are going to have a hard time running against this stout Buccaneers defensive line. So I think he's going to have to throw the ball more. That means more passing completions. So that's what I'm going with in this one.
That's not too bad. I don't have many for this one here, but I like Aaron Jones over 83.5 rushing and receiving yards in the match. I'm not going to take Leonard Fournette rushing yards. I think that's just a bit much against a stout Bucs defense. So I'm going to take his attempts instead, over 15.5 rushing attempts. For him there, and then who's the goddamn receivers for the Bucs right now?
Like I said, Russell Gage, Cole Beasley, and Julio Jones if he plays.
See, and I don't even see any of that stuff. Kind of like none of those props are kind of showing up there right now, guys. I'm just kind of like taking a look at them right now. So I'd probably wait to see if those ones kind of pop in, but I would probably take one of the Bucs' receivers, probably Julio Jones, whatever that's set at when they decide to kind of put that one up. But that game's kind of coming on a little bit later, guys.
Yeah.
So you could probably wait and kind of see on that one there. Yeah. We got the Rams-Cardinals. What are we looking at here?
Well, obviously Cooper Kupp after 2 weeks, he's blown up. So obviously his props are going to skyrocket. So he's at 8.5 receptions now, and he's at basically 100 receiving yards at 98.5. I like his receiving yards. I think he could get another 100-yard game. I don't think Arizona has anybody who's good enough to defend him.
Yeah.
The 8.5 receptions is a lot. I know he's gotten over that in 2 straight games, but how many games can he go like that, carry on this pace? So I like his receiving yards instead. Rushing, all these running backs scare me. Akers, even though they're all low props, Henderson scares me. Somebody has to get over 35 rushing yards on the team.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that one?
I agree. I don't think I'm taking Cooper Kupp over 8.5. It's a lot of receptions there. Like, you can end up going through the half with 4 receptions and still be on pace to kind of miss that one. I think the 98.5 receiving yards is a little bit safer. I like the Allen Robinson receptions over 3.5. I think he might hit that. I also like the Stafford over 274.5. I think he probably hits that this game.
It's 275.
Yeah, and I think Marquise Brown hits over 56.5 on
He's
the
due, man.
interceptions.
He's due. Yeah.
So if I would to do that one, that's kind of what it would look like.
Yeah. I like it.
And let's take a look at the last one for this evening. We're going to the San Francisco 49ers and Denver Broncos.
Is Jerry Jeudy playing? I think he's playing because he has props.
He is playing.
All right. So who would you take between if you're a betting man having to bet between Sutton and Jeudy, because you're not going to bet on both, right? Or are you?
No, you definitely don't bet on both, and I would probably at this point take Sutton over Jeudy just because Judy's coming back from an injury. Last time I would say I bet on Jeudy, but once you burn me with an injury, then I'm not playing this game where you get injured every game.
Right on. Receptions, receiving yards, or both?
I would take receptions for Jeudy, but I would do yards for Sutton if I were to look at it that way.
Yep. I think those are good picks.
Sutton's more of a deeper threat, I think.
Yep.
I would also take a rebound game for Russell Wilson over 233.5.
Nice.
And then in terms of the rushing props, I would actually take
Javonte at 50 yards, Melvin Gordon at 40 yards, Debo at 30.5 rushing yards.
I would take Debo at 30.5.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good number.
Debo or Jeffrey Wilson, one of the two. Yeah. I think Jeffrey Wilson actually might hit 56.5.
With Garoppolo now as the quarterback, that kind of hinders things, eh?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Forget about Debo. That's different. That's a good point because they can actually throw the ball now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Jeffrey Wilson over 56.5. I think.
Nice. Would you go Debo over receiving yards at 56?
No, I'm not playing this game with Debo.
Or Ayuk or Kittle?
No, I'm not playing these games with maybe Ayuk if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely not Kittle. Right. Kittle, they use him for blocking way too much. Mm-hmm. So I probably won't be playing that game. I'm actually going to go with Ayuk, though. Ayuk over 3.5. And,
that's not a lot.
And then 49.5 is not too bad.
Perfect, man. Well, the last game is the Monday Nighter. My boys, the Cowboys, only one Monday Nighter this week, guys. I like Ezekiel Elliott to rebound over 58.5 rushing yards against the Giants defense. He has to get that, guys. Like he gets the volume. The Giants are better edge rushers than they are up the middle, and that's more Zeke's style than Pollard's. They got to run the ball, man. And I think that's a good number for Zeke at 58.5.
Now, are you not worried about Pollard or Zeke getting any sort of like injury that can kind of maybe hinder that, or?
Zeke looks healthy. He's getting the volume. He's not old Zeke anymore. He's not elite anymore.
Yeah.
The offensive line is not as good, and they've got Cooper Rush back there now. I'm taking Elliott over rushing yards. Saquon Barkley is set at 77.5 rushing yards. That's maybe a little high for me, so I'm probably going to aim more towards his rushing and receiving at 105.5.
Yeah.
For receiving props on that, or quarterback stats, do you like anything?
Yeah, so I would double up on CD Lamb at 4.5 and his yards at 51.5. I would take Saquon Barkley at 77.5 for the rushing yards. I think that they're going to try and run the ball. And then I'm actually going to stay away from Ezekiel Elliott and I'll go with Cooper Rush at 202.5 over the passing yards for that one there. I think that Cooper Rush is looking good, man. It's a fun little story coming out of Dallas, and I think it would be fun to kind of bet on him. This would be more of a fun bet, but I think that it would be fun to kind of go with Cooper Rush there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that was great, guys. That's another episode of the Props Week 3.
Yeah, guys, let me know how you do. We got sports scholars, coming up with some new props for the week. So
we'd like to give one shout out to our designers at Imperium Design. They just sent us our last revisions for our logos. So we're hoping, guys, that by next week we're gonna be looking fresh, guys. We're gonna have our logo banner going. We're gonna have all of our bets.
Might not be next week, but next couple weeks.
We're moving in the right direction. We're going to be ready to go. We're going to be looking a little more professional, guys, and we're moving up in the world. We got some calls in. We have some exciting stuff coming.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff coming in, guys, and let us know how you do. And if you got any advice, give us a shout, leave us a comment, and feel free to reach out.
Thanks for all the viewership and everybody who watched. Really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. And
let's go. Football week
have
3.
a good day of watching some football.
Let's make some money, guys.
Let's get this going, buddy.